I thought I was gonna marry a black man. Okay, so I wanted us to start off with a new segment every time we start our podcast. So, what do you see, or what do you want to accomplish in the next 2 weeks? And then after our next recording, I'm going to ask you if you accomplish it, and you ask me the same.
Okay.
And that's how we're going to do it.
So like accountability.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think that's what a lot of us lack nowadays is accountability. Yeah. But for me, I think what I want to start back doing is definitely working out. I have always struggled for so long with just weight loss and just staying consistent in the gym, staying consistent with my trainer. And it really shows. And so I told myself before the end of the year is out, I definitely want to get back to working out the way that I need to. Because I'm just like, I don't want to, like you have those New Year resolutions and all the other stuff. And I feel like
New me.
New Year, new me. And it's like you're starting at the first, and then all of a sudden you kind of start falling off. So I want to already be in that habit before the new year comes. So definitely for me next week is staying consistent. I want to at least work out 3 days next week.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
3 days. So the next 2 weeks, you have 6 workouts at least?
Yes.
At least.
Yes,
We'll say minimum
6. Yeah, minimum 6.
Okay.
Minimum 6.
For me, it's the same because 4 months postpartum. I've been going through a lot. Hormones, like mentally, everything. And I want to get back to starting working out again because I feel like that's going to help my mental a lot. Yeah. Even though I'm not like I love working out type of person, or working out is my release. It's not. Yeah. I have to force myself to do it.
Me too.
It's not.
And I don't care how long you've done it. It's like you still never get used to it.
It's not my release. But yeah, that's what I want to do. So we both. Yeah. For me, I'm going to be realistic. At least 2 days per week. So 4 times. Yeah. In the 2 weeks. Yeah.
Which is very understandable for you because you have kids. And then
I don't sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to sleep in order to recover. So I don't want to force my body. And then I'm breastfeeding. It's just so many things.
Absolutely. So 4 workouts.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, cool.
And then 6 for you.
Cool. So y'all drop in the comment section, what is your goals for the next 2 weeks? And then we're going to come back and going to ask you the same thing as well. And I want y'all to write down in the comment section, did you accomplish those goals?
Did you?
That'd
be good with everybody interacting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we're talking about basically we asked our social media their best advice for marriage and singleness, or living your best single life, I guess. I don't know how to word that.
Right.
But yeah. And I found this video on IG, and if we can play it on there, we'll play it on there. But the gist of it is like, what's the best marriage relationship advice you ever received? And I don't think she's seen it yet, but it made me think. So if you guys don't see it, I'm going to explain it. But it's talking about doing the small things, like, hey, can you help me with this? Or something that person really enjoys. Like, they like for me, I like frozen coffee from Dunkin'. So him getting that whenever he's out or whatever, it's just like the small things. And it's like, oh, you see me, or you know me. So do you think like that's a huge part of a relationship?
I absolutely do, because I think a lot of times in relationships, people overlook the smallest of details. And I think when somebody actually pay attention to details, it lets you know that they're intentional about paying attention to what you need, what you desire. I think we're in a society where everything is so loud. Everything has to be so grandiose. So like the bags, the shoes, the rings,
the birthday parties,
and the birthday trips across the world. And don't get me wrong, that stuff is also vital or valuable in a relationship. But I think sometimes those small details, it like does something to you. Because like you could really be going through a bad day, right? Or having a horrible day, and you to come home and your favorite coffee sitting on the table. It's just like, dang, like you pay attention to me, or flowers, or whatever the case may be. I think it matters. I think those matter. I don't want to say more than the bigger things. But
it adds up.
Yeah.
It adds up. So, okay. And we both can answer. So what's your best marriage advice since you've been married? And what's your best advice for making the best out? I don't want to say making the best out of single. Like it's like it's not. I don't know.
Right. It's almost like it's a curse. Because you're Leo.
Look at Landon. You over there.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. My son just walked.
He just walked
around the corner.
Hi, buddy. He said no.
No.
That'd be cute.
But I know. You can keep it in. It's real life.
Yeah.
So what's your best marriage advice? And what's your best advice for having the best single life that you can have since you've been in both dynamics?
So for me, I would honestly say my best marital advice would be, we know the Bible talks about two become one, right? And I think it speaks more to like partnership and unity. But I think in a relationship, you should never lose your individuality. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we get in a relationship, I know for women especially, as women, it's just like we kind of lose ourselves. We kind of lose our dreams, our ambitions, our goals, what it is we want to do, because we have this idea of what a wife should be, right? And it almost makes us feel like we have to put everything that we want on the back burner. But I think for me, the best marital advice would be never lose your individuality, never stop looking good. That's one. Because that was one of the things, because it's like, once you get married, you get comfortable.
Lord.
You get comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I understand that things happen as far as like, you gain weight, you lose weight, you have kids, you know, all of that good stuff. But I think there's some people who just like,
I had on pajamas before this. I had on pajamas.
That's okay. Look, we all do it. Look, I was married, and you probably see me coming. He come in the house, and I have that button on my.
They see. He probably be glad when company comes, because that's when I get you.
Like, let me try to put something on. Let me do a little something. But I will tell you, in the beginning, I did those things. When he came home from work, I was dressed up. I had makeup on. All
dating.
That stuff.
You do all that.
Yep, dating. You do all of that. But then it was after a while. It's just like, hey, you walking the store, you eating on some Cheetos. Hey, watching the news or whatever it is that you want to. And so I think for me, I don't want to just get in a marriage and then just kind of like lose myself anymore, because I did it. And it's like, I want to still have my same friends, still travel with my girlfriends, still, hang out with my friends. I think a lot of times we lose that, because it has been said so many times, like, oh, when a person get married, it's like, you forget about your other friends, and you forget about this, or you forget about that, what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't want to lose that part of me anymore. I did that before.
So question, do you know why it happened? Like, was it because of like certain standards that you feel like he did, or you just felt like you just got comfortable in that wife position? It's like, oh, he already has me, so I don't have to.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I think I got complacent, because I'm just like, I'm married now, so hey, it is what it is.
I don't have to
take me and love me as I am. You know what I'm saying? I think it was me becoming complacent. Just point, outright period. And then I think also, I would say this. I think upbringing too has a lot to do with it, because I think what happens is we see how our parents' relationships and stuff were, how it was, and it almost like we kind of adopt that. And sometimes we do it subconsciously. We don't even know it. And so
it's in you.
It's in you.
Yeah.
So like, and my mom watches. She's gonna watch it. I love you guys. But a lot of the old school saints, right? It's like when they get married, it's just, I'm a wife. I'm a mom, and my household comes, and that's it. What, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of women from years ago. It's like, once we get married, hey, I am on the back burner. My family comes first, and so I think I kind of adopted that same mentality subconsciously. Yeah,
and it's so easy. Like, so my mom always told us, like, make sure you look good when your husband come home from work, because I've always, well, no, in the beginning of our marriage, I worked outside of the home, but now I'm mostly, I'm actually always at home when he gets home for the most part. And it was like, make sure you look good, decent, like be that person that they married, like that they dated. Cause now it's just like hair, I try to make sure my hair look good, but I'll be wearing a scarf, pajamas now. Cause I'm like, I don't want to get spit up, poop. Like kids
on your clean stuff, on your new stuff.
So stuff. Like even this isn't dressed up, but it's like I put this on kind of last minute because I'm like, if I get spit up and all that, then I'm gonna have to change. So I don't really, but it's still an effort that can be put in.
But I think, and I think honestly, I don't think it has to be an all the time thing.
Yeah, not all the time. I think for the most part, at least have your hair done. And this goes for both. If your husband walking around looking all not showering, looking jacked up, like, it goes like, both ways.
It does, because some men get coupled too. Because in the beginning, like when they're dating, they always keeping the shave, they always got a haircut, they always got a haircut, keep the beard and stuff. Because I'm into bearded men for whatever reason now, and they keep the beard all moisturized and all that other stuff. And then it's like when you get them, it's just like your beard has flakes in it, like
it has food from yesterday.
Did you wash your face? Did you really, what I'm saying? So did you shower? You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. So exactly. So I think it definitely goes both ways for sure.
Let me see. What's my best marriage advice? It's so many things actually. I'll take from what my mom always says. She's like, in a nutshell, don't sweat like the little things. Like she was like, she used to get so upset over the small things, and my things would be like, the garbage isn't taken out, or I emptied the dishwasher, but you didn't put the dish in the dishwasher. You put it in the sink, but I emptied the dishwasher so we could. And I used to, oh my God, they used to drive me crazy. But now it's just like, you know what?
It's gonna get done.
He's helping to, he's taking care of the kids. He's doing the big things. And of course, you do want some of the small things to be done. Like, it's like, if something is really driving you crazy, I think it should be acknowledged on both ends.
Absolutely.
But sometimes some things are just little.
And that's another thing. That's another important one, and which I probably should have brought that up first, is learning which battles to fight.
Yes.
I think that's just in life, period. But I think really in a relationship, because I think sometimes when you do get in a relationship, you do start like the little small petty stuff start aggravating.
Stuff that you used to think was cute.
Now it's just like, oh my God, that's so aggravating. You know what I'm saying?
Why you smacking?
Why you smack? He been smacking when y'all were dating. You didn't care about it. And I think sometimes it's like we start, everything is we butting heads about every single thing. And it's like, what was we arguing about? Half of that stuff don't even really be important.
You forget.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like living with your siblings. You're with them all the time. So you're going to get annoyed. So it's like that with your spouse. When you're dating, you weren't with them all the time. So every time you saw them, you're just excited to be around them. And I think that's good. That should. It's so hard to keep that spark.
Yes.
Because you're with them all the time. So finding ways to keep that'd be my best advice. Finding ways to keep that spark of like, I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to spend time. Like, I don't care if they annoy me. It's like, they're the best thing in the world. But it's so hard to.
That's good. And I think
to do that.
And I think one of the reasons is why, because we start losing the intimacy. And I'm not talking about
just the overall.
The intimacy, because I think a lot of times when you're dating, right, you're more intimate because you're talking all the time. You
saying everything
sweet, everything nice. You don't want to say anything to hurt their feelings. You don't want to say. So it's like you build this level of intimacy. A lot of times when you get in a marriage or relationship, whatever the case may be, you start kind of like laxing on that, because it's just like, I talk to you all the time. And like you said, you start losing that spark. Like, I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I'll talk to him. So I'll talk to him later. And it's almost like, because you lose that level of intimacy, because in the beginning, it's always you always want to be on the phone with them. You always want to be around them. And so it just builds something. The spark is always there. But then it's like when you start getting used to them.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get used. It's all right. Best single advice.
Best single advice, I would say, would be I think for me, because I'm newly single, so I think for me it's to continue to work on yourself. I think sometimes we get so caught up in wanting to be in a relationship, want to be with a man, want to be with a woman, want to be somebody's that we become that pick me. So I would say never stop working on yourself. Always work on yourself, work out, because I feel like when you get in a relationship, I'm just going to be quite honest with you. Sometimes you start kind of like you don't have the necessary time that you would at one point in time. So I would always say continue to date yourself. People don't never want to date themselves.
They are by themselves.
Yeah. Go somewhere by yourself. Always keep your hair done. You know, just enjoy singleness. I think sometimes we feel like being single is a curse because we just always so used to want to be with somebody. Marriage is relationships so much, and half of the ones that are being married are not even ready to be married. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing this lady told me years ago. I never forget. I was working at a hair salon, and me and my ex-husband were dating at the time. And I probably should have rebuked this because she probably spoke this on her. Oh God! So she told me I was doing her hair. And I think my ex-husband at the time had brought me some roses up to the job. And everybody was like, oh my God, like who brought these roses and stuff like that. So everybody was so intrigued or whatever. And so the young lady, she was like, oh, you in a relationship? Older lady. She's probably about in her 50s, older lady. She was like, yeah. She was like, how old are you? And at the time I was like 23, 24. And she was like, how long y'all been together? And I told her, we've been together for a little minute. We going to get ready to get married. She was like, have you traveled the world yet? Like, have you done some things? Like, what are some things what are some of your goals? And I'm just like, this, and the third. Have you been across the country yet? And I was like, no. Have you traveled to another state? Yeah, the surrounding states. Yeah. She said, I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably not going to last. I said, excuse me? She said, it's probably not going to last. She said, because y'all are talking about getting married so quickly to a point where y'all really don't even know yourselves. Like, you haven't traveled the world. You haven't seen, like, you haven't traveled. You haven't explored. You haven't done any of those things. And not saying that because you're young and you haven't done those things that marriage is going to fail. Because I rebuke that, right? I buy that. That ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? It's not realistic. It's not, yeah. And so I was like, But I think there is some level of truth to that, but I don't necessarily feel like that's the conglomerate. Because let's be honest, half of America can't travel out the country. You can't. Especially a 23, 24-year-old. But I get the concept of what she was saying, that you have to, at that age, that's your time to like really explore, really be fun, have fun. Don't tie yourself down to the first person that come along.
So when I hear advice like that, it's some truth to it, and then it's some that's not really realistic. I feel like, you should have fun by yourself, do all that, travel if you want. Like, I don't like traveling by myself. So that never would apply to me. Yeah. But if you're dating someone, do that with them. Because then you get to see how they are in every aspect.
That's very true too.
Traveling. Are they always rushing? Do they get upset when you take it too long? Like, those are good. I mean, do it with that person to see is this the one I want to spend my whole life with? That's how I feel. And my single advice would be, because I didn't really do this when I was single, just enjoying it, like spending that time with God. Because as soon as I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on myself, because my focus was like being with someone else. But once I started focusing on myself, and not like in a selfish way, it's just like, if someone comes, and I'm just, I went to the movies by myself. I did all that, and I don't like doing that. Yeah. Like I like to have someone with me, whether it's family member or whatever. I just like to be around someone close, but just not focus on here and now and your goals that you want to achieve. Yeah. And I wouldn't say put off a relationship until you do this. Because, I mean, come on, we don't know how long that's going to take.
That's true. That is very true.
I mean, unless you're fine with waiting. Right. But be realistic. Yeah. That's kind of what it's like. Focus on here now to be your goals. And if you do find someone, still reach for those goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, like you said, don't lose yourself. Yeah. We're just always focused on being with somebody else. It's like you and God, just focus on that. Yeah. Have a relationship with God.
Absolutely. That's number one.
So you can have one with somebody else.
Are we going to go into dating advice?
Yeah. Oh, cool. Let me see if I have some single So one lady said, understand that it's a choice, your choice, like relationship or single. You don't need the validation of others to enjoy being in a single status space. Yes.
That's very true. I agree with that.
You don't need the validation of others. Because especially family members need to stop be like, when you get married, like,
oh my God, the pressure.
I'm married and that's annoying to me. It's
right. Like, wait a minute.
Can I just be?
Can I just be? I think that is so true. I think so many people, especially those who are in relationships or married or whatever, because they be like, when you gonna find somebody? When? First of all, I'm not necessarily looking for anybody. Am I dating? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But am I necessarily just kind of like, oh, come here, I want you? No.
Yeah.
No. I'm not actually looking.
Yeah.
Am I looking to be found? I am. You know what I mean?
You're open. You're putting yourself out there in spaces that you can be.
Yeah.
And God, like you ask God to send somebody, but you never leave the house. I mean, He can send you a delivery person. They'll find you
right
if you answer the door. But I mean, you have to put yourself
out there.
So let me see if I can find another like single one.
I had someone to say, and we did ask people questions, and we're kind of like reading it now for you all to hear. This says, my best relationship advice is date intentionally. You will figure out what you like and don't like about your partner, knowing they aren't to be perfect, but at least you have opened yourself to options and sorting to match whatever it is when it comes to your standards or expectations in them. Please have standards and boundaries when dating. Standards and boundaries. So, yes, 1,000%. What are your, if you mind sharing? I don't know if y'all can hear that, but my husband and my son, they're going at it. Just okay. I hope y'all can hear that. This is real life. I hope they can hear that. Okay, so since you have been in and out of like, so single, married, single, dating, single, like, so what boundaries or standards have changed now that you've experienced certain things and see like what's realistic and what's not? Do you have any that have changed, or are they all still the same? I definitely think they have changed, because when I got married, I was, younger, of course. So, I think, at that age, you have certain expectations, but as you continue to mature and you get older, expectations change. I think the number one thing for me, especially when it comes to me dating, is being very intentional. I like a man who's going to date me. I'm not one of those women, we gonna Netflix and chill all day. I don't want to do that.
That's not real life.
I'm too grown for that. Number one, Netflix and chill. Now, if you would have called me back in the 20s, then maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Different life.
Yes.
What do you call it? You're in different points of your life.
Yes.
So you have,
I'm not Netflix and chilling with nobody.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing that. Like, I like men who are intentional about dating. I want to go out. Like, I'm a girly girl. I like to get cute. I like to get my hair done, my nails done. I like to buy a new outfit. I like to be courted. Yeah. I like to be courted. And I think men have lost that essence. And I think it's because women have allowed the Netflix and chill too much. And I've never been a Netflix chill type person. Like, I don't want to, back in my day I was, but now at 38 years old, I don't want to be Netflix and chill. No. So that's one standard. No. I'm the type of person like, I don't like clingy men in the very beginning. Those men who are like,
I dated someone like that.
So clingy in the beginning. Oh, what are you doing? I don't like aggressive men in the beginning. Or trying to tell me like, what are you doing? Where you at? Where you going? No.
Every time you look at your phone, what you doing?
Yeah, what you doing? Where you at? And one other thing that I hate when a man, so we're dating, right? Say for instance, we're dating, we're only like a couple weeks in. Like, don't expect me to answer your call every day, all day long.
Especially you got a job. You out here doing your thing. Yeah.
Jobs.
You should be working too, Kim.
Right. So because so I'm like, I don't like, so that's some of the things. I ain't gonna put everything out there because I know men, they try to, and my number one standard, you have to love God.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I cannot, I think because of where I am in my life and in my relationship with God, you have to love God. And it can't be, oh, I love him. I got a relationship with God and there is no evidence. Accountability. Yeah, there's no evidence. I can't do that no more.
Yeah. That's, yeah. What do you think of this one? It says, my best marriage / relationship advice is always be willing to change. Too many people talk about not changing. Singled or coupled, you should always be striving to be better. Changing attitude, thinking, communication, etc. Make for a healthy relationship. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because like I was saying earlier, when I was 20 some years old, the lens that I looked at relationship and stuff is totally different from what I look at in 38. So I feel like if I'm in a relationship now, or say for instance I was married now, I would say this, right? I think most marriages do fail because people fail to adapt, or they fail to grow, or they fail to, because you're different from where you were 5 years ago. Right. And so my expectations of what I need in a relationship, what I need in a relationship or what I need in a partner has changed since then. And so I think in relationships, you both have to be flexible and have adaptability to say, okay, this person has changed. So she might just hypothetically, she like hot Cheetos back then. So I ain't gonna bring her a bag of hot Cheetos right now because she don't like this, because these have changed. So, you know, that's kind of a crazy analogy, but it's almost like the same thing.
Noticing that, like say, you notice your spouse doesn't like that anymore. That, and at least for me, that's a huge thing that you even noticed, and you took note of it. You keep bringing that to me, like, do you not even know me?
No,
like,
I
obviously don't like it anymore. But yeah, because with marriage, for me, like, so many things have changed and our needs change as far as like dealing with different seasons. Seth and I have both lost someone very close to us. He's lost 2 people in the past 2 years. I think it's been 2 years. His uncle and his granddad. And then for me, I lost my cousin. So it's like different seasons require different needs, and you're going to have to adapt and change. Even like, I think I've told you just before, when we were dating, Seth was touchy. He was like very touchy, very just like there and present. And now we switch. I'm the one that's like always trying to touch and be on. He's just like, you know, give me a little space. And that used to be me. I used to hate being like overly touched, and now it's him. So it's like we've switched roles, and I can't just be like, dang, I miss that person, and getting mad or not adjusting, because that to me, I feel like that leads to looking elsewhere. If you're always complaining and saying like you miss that, it's like it's okay to miss it, but adjusting, like, okay, he's changed, and take note that I've changed too. But telling that person is like, I really would like more touch or whatever, like acknowledging and speaking so they can know.
Is it?
So I mean, they can't read mine. You can't read mine, and they can't read mine.
Oh, that's another topic too. All different days. Because sometimes we have these unspoken expectations, and then we get mad because they don't know, and it's just like some certain things, right, should be visible, right? You should see that. Okay, when I buy her hot Cheetos now, and it's just a crazy analogy, y'all. When I buy, she used to eat the whole bag, but now she don't even touch the bag. You know, so some stuff is like visible. You should be able to see, like, okay, she don't like these no more. But then there are certain things that has to be spoken. Right? You don't touch me like you used to.
Because they don't. If they're not into being like touchy anymore, they're not going to clock that you miss that unless you say it.
Absolutely. Because at one season you didn't really care.
I was like, stop touching me. Stop touching me. Like, I wouldn't say, but it's just like, I don't know. Have you ever had someone that hates being like overly touched?
That used to be me.
See, like that was me, and now I'm like, dang,
touch me,
wrap your arm around here or something.
Right. But like you said, roles change.
They do. Yeah. So it's crazy, but acknowledging and even noticing that I've changed too. He's changed. Now, how do we make this work? And like communicating. It's like, I would like you to do more. He's like, I would like you to do less. Like,
right. Just find that coming around. Yeah.
So you had any more?
Oh, I got a lot more.
Drop them.
This one. Okay. Somebody said, great question. My advice is, while you wait, work on you spiritually, physically, and emotionally. That's kind of what I was just saying. That's what I'm currently doing. Truly taking the time to work on myself. This all started from a simple conversation with God. I asked God to show me what I can work on, because I want to be a great wife, mother, a better friend, leader, and all the things. So show me what's blocking me or standing in the way. And he has been doing just that. I've grown into someone I'm beginning to love more and more each day. Let's see.
That. So to that point, and you can keep looking if you need to, but while you're dating, married, whatever, be the person you want to be with. That just reminded me, because I heard that somewhere else. It's like, be the friend you want to be the girlfriend you want to be, boyfriend you want to be. So be that person that you want to be with. Like, too many times we're always looking at the other person to have everything we need. It's like, are you bringing, like, what are you doing? Oh, that is so good. I tell people that all the time. Oh, what are you doing? Are you being loving like you want to be loved and blah, blah, blah. So that is
so very true. And that's one of the things I say sometimes, and I could say this with women and men. They're always expecting so much out of this other person, but they have
the whole "what do you bring to the table" thing. That gets
and they don't bring. They don't bring anything, and they're like, "Oh, I am the table."
You heard of top tier? The thing that's going around this, like, it's like this. I don't know. They're men saying like they're top tier, and like
I heard that
their height and all that stuff. Like that's what they bring. Yeah.
What they bring to the
something like that. But continue.
What happened to the older days where the men were like the chasers and we were,
that's the natural thing. That's it's naturally supposed to be that way.
I heard somebody say men are the prizes now. I said, oh, okay.
They tired of chasing.
What? I'm like, because men are more. They're supposed to be warriors. They're supposed to be the chasers.
But think about it. The women, and I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but women have become more aggressive.
They really have.
There's a good aggressive, and then there's a
unhealthy aggressive.
Yeah, I feel like we're doing too much.
I agree.
I feel like you're doing too much, and
we have a lot of those movements and stuff now too.
Yeah, and I've never thought of myself as the prize, but at the same time, how do I want to say this? I feel like if you think of yourself as the prize, but you're not being prize worthy, is that the right way to say it?
That's a good way to say it.
Like you're just expecting to be received just the way you are.
Yeah.
And because you're the prize.
A lot of women say, oh, I'm the prize. But it's like, and it's so true. Some of the ones who screaming that they're the prize, they're really not the prize. And I think that's a real reality. Yeah. Like, and I hear a lot. Yeah, that's a whole different topic. Because some women are like, I want a high value man. I want a high value man making 12 figures, and he got to be this, he got to be that. And I'm just like,
but do you know how to steward that money? Do you know how to uplift him, serve him? Both of y'all serving each other, but serve him, uplift him, and even. Do we want to deal with how much they're away, depending on the type of job they have?
Yep.
Most times you're making that much money, unless you can do it from home. You have all these different investments, blah, blah, blah. But still, that's going to take time.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? Do you have your own things going?
Exactly.
Or are you just going to sit around and
wait and here's my thing. Like, a lot of women are going for I want the high value man. I want the high value man. I want the man that got all this stuff. But he has to also want you too. And I think that's what women fail to realize, because it's like when you say that I want a high value man, they're going to also be looking for women in that caliber.
High value women.
There's certain women within that caliber. And I'm not saying that they will never date somebody who's a waitress. And this is no shot to nobody who's a waitress. But like, you're talking about a man who's a 12-figure, he making 12 figures, whatever. And he's going to come and get somebody at Waffle House. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not throwing shots, but you also have to be realistic, because there are men in that caliber who also deal with women in that same bracket.
Because you understand that life, like actors, they're going to date actors for the most point, because you understand that life. They know you're not there just for the money, because you got your own too. So even if you are working a lower job that makes less than what they have, not lower job, but what makes less than what they make. Are you stewarding that well?
Right.
Because if you can steward that, you can steward millions.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the man wants a woman who has to be making the same amount of money, because if he's making that type of money, more than likely he's not caring about the money that you're bringing in. But at the same time, like, are you? There's a certain amount.
Yeah. I mean, just like you have so many jobs, like titles under your belt. You're not gonna have someone that's just sitting around the house and doesn't understand work ethic and all of that, because they're just gonna bring you down, spend your money, stuff like, So I mean, it goes both ways. Yeah, it's both ways.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, the same for you. You got things under your belt.
So
entrepreneur, business owner, all these many different things. So it's like, and Seth is a hard working man. So you find people that
equally
yoked
spiritually and non-spiritually, as far as when it comes to work ethic and everything. So equally yoked. So work on yourself.
Yes. I'm gonna read a few more. That was a long one. Thank you, sis. One of them said, you can speak mine. You can say mine.
I need people to know.
I'm just gonna read just a little bit. And this was another one of my friends, Angela. Thank you. She said, say her name.
Oh, okay.
She said, I honestly can't say I have advice in a do this or do that type of way. However, I would strongly remember who the heck you are. And I say that with my chest, real bad chick style. Seriously, it's easy and common for us to say, I know my identity, but for some, it isn't true. For others, life has just allowed them to forget or put identity on hold, which is very true. As a single woman, really any woman, but we must know who we are, who God said we are. And he said, we will do what he said we will do, and the qualities that we possess. They got a lot more. But yeah.
And that's a constant thing, because you change so much. Like knowing who you are. Oh my goodness. Just having kids, it's like, dang, what am I besides the mom and the wife?
Right.
Like you start. So that change, that's constantly reevaluating and knowing this new person.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's good.
Absolutely. But the last one I'm gonna read is, hello, ladies. My advice for singleness is just to trust God and keep going towards everything that God has for you, because in that you will find fulfillment when you are busy just pleasing the Father, but also having room to date with intentions and purpose, so that you know who not to waste your time on. And I did see someone, and that's what I was going to ask, where we're going to get talking about dating. And I know we finna get ready to wrap this up, but what would be your advice on dating? Like, what would be your advice? Like, if somebody said, okay, I want to get out here and date, like, what would be your advice?
My advice is, it's not all just fun and games. Like, I used to think, like, when you first start dating someone, like, it's okay to just put what you're looking to get out of it, like, kind of on the back burner, because you don't want to just jump in and scare people. But if you're dating for marriage, only if you're dating for marriage. If you're just dating to have fun.
Yeah.
But if you're dating for marriage, put it out there when you first meet. Like, this is what I want. Like, I want to wait to marriage to have sex. I want to be married. Just in general, like, are they looking for marriage too? I would like to have kids. Like, all that stuff that's important to you, lay it out there. And of course, don't do it in an aggressive way.
Right.
But have that conversation in the beginning before y'all get all up in each other's, like, feeling. Like, I love this man, but he only want to have kids and you want to have kids. He want to get married in 10 years, but you hoping to get married sooner. And it's just stuff like that. Important things. Get it out there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And actually, when you're dating, actually treat it like, I feel like it's going to get so construed, like people be confused. Treat it like you're married, as far as tell your true feelings, be honest with each other. Tell when they, like, their little things that you think won't annoy you. It's like, okay, you hate when other people chew loud, but you tell them, it's like, oh, it's cute when he do it. That's going to annoy you when you get married. Yeah. So things that you're like, you overlook right now is going to be bigger when you get married. So actually look at it as like, do I want to live with this?
Very true. Very true.
The way he reacts to certain things or whatever, it's like, do I want to? Because it's not gonna be cute. Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna be cute. Yeah. So treat it like you're actually married. Like actually, I don't know. Just be real with each other. See them in each emotion: angry, happy, sad. Like, I mean, if they cry too much for you, if they, I'm trying to see, just the things you want. Make it serious. Like it's serious. Yeah. That's in a simple way. Just treat it like it's serious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you when you say when you were saying as far as like put everything out there in the beginning. I do agree with that. And I think Rhea is talking about, you can correct me if I'm wrong, more so somebody that you honestly are now getting serious with, right? I think my dating advice, because I was going to say something opposite. Yeah. So my dating advice, like, and that's what I was going to say. I agree with you. If you're having fun,
just have fun.
Just have fun. Right. But I would say this for me, right? When it comes to dating, if you know that you are kind of like dating around and you haven't found that person, I always tell women, and this probably go somewhat against what you were saying. I'm sorry. Because I was going to say, don't marry a man in your head until there's a ring on your finger. That's how I personally.
Yeah. Believe. So that's, and I'm glad you brought that up because I don't want people to get confused. So what I mean by that is, okay, so when we're dating, we're like, oh, I don't want to get them mad, so I'm not going to bring this up.
Oh, yes.
Tell them your true feelings about everything.
Yeah.
How you feel about this. It's like, I really don't like this. Or I really don't like that. Like, be real.
Yes.
So so they can get to know the real you.
Absolutely.
You can get to know the real them.
Yeah.
You can be all sweet and stuff too, but just be real.
Real. That part. That's the part. Yeah.
Because you get married and like, oh, I thought you liked this.
Yeah, like, I thought you did it. And what I mean by what I mean by don't marry them, because I think what women subconsciously do, they start in the very beginning. And I know several people who, like, they have met this man and it's only been 3 weeks and they already treating this man like the husband. Yeah. And it's almost like you cooking, you cleaning, he Netflix and chilling you. He, you know what I'm saying? You're at every beck and call, and it's almost like it takes on that pick me. I'm gonna treat you better than all the other women in your past. Like,
it's like he already
done X'd you out. And I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna say that because men, there are still men out there who like a chase. And if you don't give a man anything to work towards, he's not gonna work towards it. That's why I tell people, and this is one of the reasons why and if you watch this is no flex anymore. This is one of the reasons why my last relationship didn't work, because I'm a woman. You're gonna date. I'm not a Netflix and chill every weekend type person. You have to be intentional, because if you don't give a person something to work towards, they're not going to do it. And so that's what I mean by don't marry him cooking and clean. You already cooking and cleaning. You at a beck and call. You washing his clothes. You doing this and God forbid sexual things that already transpired. Yeah, he ain't too much looking at you.
I mean, why get married?
Why get married? What's that saying? Why buy the cow
when you already had the milk? Something like that.
Yeah, something like excuse me. Why get the milk when you already got the cow? Something like that. Why buy the milk when you already got the cow?
There we go.
Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, so that would be my advice, because I've seen it so many, and I've had conversations with girls, and it's just like, now all of a sudden, like, he doesn't seem interested in me. He's not. Men don't like a pick me type woman. Oh, I'm gonna show you that I'm better than all of y'all. Yeah. No, you make him work towards something. Yeah. Like, no.
Both of y'all bringing 100% to the table.
Thank you.
Another thing, when they say like, you heard like 50%, like they're my better half and all that stuff. No. Come in whole with all that you have. Nobody, and nobody's gonna be like 100%, but at the same time, don't depend on anybody else to complete you. Yeah, because you can't. And my last piece,
yes,
which some people might not like, don't have sex. Because you get cloudy.
You do.
You get cloudy.
You get cloudy. Your judgment is cloudy. Because anytime you cross those borders and those lines, now emotions and all that stuff, especially for a woman, because a man, he can hit it and quit it anytime.
3 people at one time.
I've heard men say like, there's no emotion.
Yeah.
There's no more. I can do whatever I want to.
It's just getting something done.
Yep. Because you was there.
With us, we become the wife in our head. Like, we just
he gonna marry me tomorrow. Like, you already started
down. He gonna marry me.
And why do women feel like this stuff is so good that he gonna marry me tomorrow? They already got their wedding colors, where they gonna live, how many kids they gonna have. Like, and he's like, girl, I'm on to them.
It was just, it's like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
But no, for real, you get cloudy. The things you would have noticed 2-3 months in, now it's going to take you longer.
Yes, to even,
because you in love. You just like, oh, this man, this is amazing. Like, he ain't that amazing.
Yeah,
if you would notice this if that's my thing.
We can keep going on. And the last thing I'm gonna say is, always have your non-negotiables.
Yes,
always have
and
your
don't waver, especially if it's something that don't need to be wavered on. Yes.
And I don't care how petty it seems to others, because I've asked women, they'll come to me and they ask me like, hey, like, he doesn't believe in Christ. He believes in something else. And I say, is that one of your non-negotiables? It is. So what's the conversation? There's no conversation at this point. If that's one of your non-negotiables, no, I don't care. If somebody be like, that is so stupid. That's not, if it's your non-negotiable, let your non-negotiable be your non-negotiable. If he doesn't love God and he's in a different religion, let that be your non-negotiable. I can't.
Because it is that for a reason. For like for you make that for a reason. Because if you get married, that's going to be a major thing if that was something that was your non-negotiable.
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, I'm Christian. He's
now how you going to raise your kids?
How you going to raise your kids?
You want to go to church together, but he don't.
It causes confusion. Because it was like, is mama God or your God?
Who we praying to?
Who we praying to? You know what I mean?
And then just spiritual work, like it's
too much. And do not ignore red flags. Stop ignoring red flags. If it's a red flag, it's a red flag.
It's a red flag. It's not yellow.
It's not yellow, and it darn sure ain't green. It's red.
It's red for a reason.
It's red for a reason.
Goodness.
But I think that's
it. Really ain't that hard. And because I'm looking back at the foolishness I was doing, it's like it really like that so much could have been avoided. Like it's not that hard, and I say that with knowing, like this stuff. Yeah. If we actually sit down, think about what we want. This could be a long topic.
This could be a long topic because we can go with so many different avenues. But just for this. But you know what I will say? I love our podcast because we're multifaceted. Like we don't just stick on like relationships. We can talk about politics. We can talk about
everything.
Everything, right? And so because I think that's what makes up the whole of a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's life. It makes
Yeah. So. Yeah. But all right. If you got any relationship advice, put it down in the comment section below. And
if what you think we said is cap, just let us know too.
put a big cap in the comment section. And who knows, we might read it on our next segment. Who knows? So yeah. All right. Definitely follow us on our socials. And until next time, we're out.
I was about to say, don't on the list that people make. Like I want this, but they stick like if a guy don't check all the boxes.
Yeah. Oh, did you want to throw that in there?
Nah.
Okay.
Like I said, we can go forever. But so.
Yeah, because I mean, now some stuff is just like dumb. Like, I want him to be 6'6" and he's 6'4".
Is that's
superficial stuff? Yeah, now that's superficial stuff. You ain't gonna find nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's superficial stuff because that stuff fade. Looks and all that. Oh, that'd been another good thing. Looks and all that stuff fade. You need to be somebody who's gonna wipe your butt when you get sick.
That's facts.
That's fact. Oh, we should have said.
You keep that in there. Your mic
all this superficial stuff. I'm put this snap this back on.
You should put the black screen in there and come back with add that in there.
Well, let me just say this. Now, off camera, but this superficial stuff, right? This superficial stuff. We're not talking about this superficial stuff. Like if he's 6'6", you say you want somebody who's 6'6" and he's 5.5, you just like, oh, he's too short for me. But you need to be with somebody who you know when you get sick, when you get down and out, they're gonna be there to wipe your behind at the end of the day. They're gonna be there if you
wipe that little
drool. If you come down with some type of sickness or disease, that they're gonna be there every step of the way. Those are the type of people that you want, not this superficial stuff. Because looks, all that stuff is gonna fade, but are they gonna be with you in rough times? Turn your back on me.
I thought I was gonna marry a black man.
Hey,
picture. This is not. There's a picture up there. Nowhere near black. Whew, okay, just saying. Your Liz sometime need adjusting.
Because it's about what's gonna take.
all my dreaming of being married always tells me, Lord, oh God, he's seeing you who you need.
He's seeing you who you need.
All right,
we gone for this time. Hey, y'all.